I'm Ken Fobb. This is NewsNet, Baton Rouge. Grab a tea or coffee as I go over with you headlines and news from our local area and region. Hamid Ghassemi, the man who has been criminally charged for orchestrating and paying killers for the brutal murder of his ex-wife, will finally face a trial before a jury on March 16th of 2020. Ghassemi, who is 67 years old, is accused of hiring Daniel Richter of Walker, Tyler Ashpaw of Denham Springs, and a 17-year-old by the name of Skylar Williams of Denham Springs to plan, execute, and murder his ex-wife, Tahira Ghassemi, a 54-year-old who had been reported missing on April the 11th of 2015. The day after she was reported missing, her car was found on fire and empty on Chalmer Avenue near Choctaw Drive in Baton Rouge. Tahira Ghassemi's body was later found in a heavily wooded area located in St. Helena Parish. An autopsy report revealed she had been shot, then burned, then buried. The accused killer, Tyler Ashpaw, was initially charged with first-degree murder, but his charge was reduced down by prosecutors to a charge of manslaughter in exchange for his incriminating testimony against his co-defendants, Ghassemi, Richter, and Williams. I will keep you posted with updates, so keep watching. The Louisiana Department of Health is now saying the state has seen its first human cases of West Nile virus so far this year. There have been 5 cases reported. There have been 2 people confirmed to be infected with the West Nile virus in Washington Parish, 1 reported in East Baton Rouge, 1 reported in St. Tammany Parish, and 1 confirmed in Livingston Parish. There were also 2 asymptomatic cases reported in Caddo and in Washington Parish. Health officials say there were 53 West Nile cases reported across the state of Louisiana by the same time last year in 2018. The Coast Guard has announced it plans to burn off oil that spilled last week in a marsh located 42 miles south-southeast of New Orleans. Petty Officer John Michelli reports that between 800 and 1,000 gallons of oil spilled last week from a single well pipeline that is owned by Time Energy LLC. This oil spill took place at Cox Bay in Plaquemines Parish. The Coast Guard recently issued a press release announcing that these oil spill burn-offs should be expected to last from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that they will take place Wednesday and or Thursday of next week, depending on the weather. In Iberville Parish, the parish council has unanimously approved new regulations regarding residential properties as they relate to flooding. The Iberville Parish Council passed a new ordinance that does not only apply to homes in a flood zone. For instance, if a house is built outside of a flood zone, then that house will also need to be built at least 1 foot above the nearest base flood elevation level within half of a mile. Councilman Matthew Jewell, as well as other council members, say they do not want to discourage economic growth in Iberville Parish, but they do want to make sure all parish residents are protected from the frequent flooding in the parish and region. The new ordinance also applies to any substantial improvement to be made to an existing home. Finally, in the city of Central, even though it's been more than 1 month since Hurricane Barry came to town, there still exists a large amount of debris or tree limbs in the front yards of many homes in Central. But according to officials, pickup has been slow but sure, but they say help may be finally on the way. Officials say the city of Central has hired a company by the name of DRC Emergency Services as the specified contractor assigned to pick up the debris left from Storm Barry. However, the mayor of Central says most of the calls they've been getting come from residents about debris not related to the storm. So he wants residents to be warned that, quote, "We are not picking up new, fresh piles that people just decided to clean up around their yard or any other loose items like that." The mayor went on to say they are only picking up storm debris from Hurricane Barry. These have been headlines and news from our local area and region. I'm yours truly, Ken Fobb. I'll see you next time right here on NewsNet, Baton Rouge.